Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Wanye Reese. Tonight, Georgia politics entered the national spotlight. With early voting starting Monday, much of the nation had its eyes on a Georgia race that could have a major impact on national politics. Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker took to the stage this evening in Savannah to debate on pressing issues for Georgia voters. Anthony Montalto watched the entire debate. He joins us live in studio. So, Anthony, what topics did they cover?
Well, Wanye, they touched on a little bit of everything from the economy to healthcare to voting and more. Take a look. Right off the bat, inflation came into focus with the first question to Herschel Walker. He highlighted some of his solutions.
We got to become independent, energy independent again. And the reason why, we're going to our enemies to ask for gas and oil. And that puts us not just in an inflation problem, but it puts us in a national security problem.
Senator Raphael Warnock fired back with what he's done to cut back on rising prices.
I've stood up for ordinary, hardworking Georgia families time and time again. I passed the single largest tax cut, contrary to what my opponent is suggesting, for middle and working class families in American history.
Then the focus shifted to voter turnout.
There is no question that SB 202 makes voting harder, and that is the intent.
While Senator Warnock insisted some legislation keeps people from voting, Walker argued it cracked down on voter fraud.
SB 202, really, it made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And she mentioned that more people turned out for the primary.
Then it turned to abortion.
The patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. We are witnessing right now what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms.
Here's what Walker had to say in response.
He's a neat talker, but did he not mention that there's a baby in that room as well?
Now, just after that, Walker said he would not support a nationwide abortion ban. Instead, he said he would vote how Georgians want him to. But as for the recent allegations he paid for his girlfriend to get an abortion, Walker denied that happened. Back to you, Wanye.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for that phenomenal reporting. Now, there were some notable moments as well. One of those moments is when Senator Warnock accused Walker of, quote, pretending to be a police officer. And you see him there. Walker pulled out a police badge. Well, tonight we also spoke with Cliff Wilkinson, a political science professor at Georgia College and State University. One of the things we asked him after the debate, will poll numbers change at all?
We've noticed for a number of years, really, let's say 8 to 10 years, that the polls have not been as exact and dependable as expected. Some of that may have to do with what we could call the Trump effect and some individuals being shy about stating who they were supporting. But still, both candidates, the poll numbers are within the margin of error. It is a toss-up.
Tonight, many politicians shared their thoughts on the debate. Democratic candidate for governor Stacey Abrams tweeted Senator Warnock just left the stage after his first debate and has once again shown why Georgians need his leadership in Washington. Warnock's counterpart, Georgia U.S. Senator John Ossoff, tweeted Senator Warnock dominated that debate. Former Senator Kelly Loeffler, who lost her seat to Warnock in 2021, tweeted in favor of Herschel Walker. She says, when he wins his race for Senate, the people of Georgia will win too. So far, Governor Brian Kemp has not weighed in. Well, Election Day, believe it or not, is about 3 weeks away, but Georgians start heading to the polls Monday. That's right. Early voting starts October the 17th. So make sure to check in with your county's Board of Elections to see hours and locations. Remember, you'll have the opportunity to vote on the weekends as well. Every Georgia county must hold Saturday voting on October the 22nd and October the 29th. Then there are 2 optional days for Sunday voting hours. Early voting is going to be ending on November the 4th. Before you head to the polls, Georgia voters can watch another debate between the candidates for Congressional District 2. The race features Democratic candidate Sanford Bishop and Republican Chris West. Bishop has held that seat for 3 decades. Now he has his biggest competition since 2010. The debate, sponsored by the Atlanta Press Club, happens Sunday at the Georgia Public Broadcasting from 1:45 to 2:15 p.m. Our very own Frank Malloy will moderate. For more information on races across the state, candidate profiles, how to vote, and other key election dates, look for our November 2022 election guide. You know where to go. It's on our website. That's at 13wmaz.com. We can also send that voter guide directly to your cell phone. Just text the word vote to 478-752 1309.